Hello, Kyle here. I just had my first ever experience riding the Toronto Pearson Express, and if you've never used it before, I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to let you know what the experience is like. In a word, shitty. The entrance to the station is slightly east of the Dundas West subway station, so there's no way to actually get to the Pearson Express from the subway. You have to kind of leave the station, go down Bloor, walk east a couple minutes, and then go in another entrance. Of course, there's no signage to let you know about this, so if you are a first-time traveler or someone just going through Toronto casually and you don't already know this is the way it is, you're going to be completely lost. The only real signage you're going to see is a relatively small sign hung over a bridge. And the door is also kind of tucked away under a bridge. I live in the neighborhood, so I know right where it is. So I walk in, and the architectural design is very much of the large, empty concrete bunker. That's very much the feel they were going for, which is fine. It's minimal. I'm a fan of that. I'd rather them cheap out on the construction, so fares can be a little cheaper. First thing I saw was a Presto machine with a sign that said something along the lines of, "Presto users pay here." So pulled out my Presto card, boop. I paid there. When you go in, there's two different elevators. There's one on the left, I guess since this is a camera, there's one on the left and one on the right. But there's no signage at all telling you which one to go to. I would have assumed that it would have two Pearson above one and two Union above the other. But they don't. It's just empty. While I'm trying to figure out which of these two lifts to go to, I run into another passenger who looks at me with this troubled, lost expression on their face, and they ask me, "Do you know how to get to the airport? I'm trying to get to Pearson, I don't know which way to go." And I let them know, well, that's where I'm going as well, so, let's teamwork this. We go to the lift on the left-hand side. It takes us up. We look at some signs, because they have some overhead TV monitors, and they have travel times telling us how long it will be until the next train to Union arrives. That's not what we want. That's the opposite direction. So we go back on the lift, we go down, we go around, we go up the other lift. When we step off that lift, we see two TV monitors. One of them has travel times, again, for Union. The other has it for Pearson. At least one thing says for Pearson, okay, this is the platform to wait on. So as we walk, we find a bunch of other travelers, and they kind of look at us and say, "Hey, are any of you going to Pearson?" And we say, "Actually, yeah, all of us are." And they tell us that they found a sign at the very end of that platform that indicated that that was to get to Union. We had it right the first time around. So the group of us who had all chosen the wrong platform stuffed ourselves on the elevator, went down, walked around, back up to where we were at first, ignored the TV screens that had the travel time for Union, and we kept on walking further down the platform, and the train arrived and we did get it right. That amount of confusion is just ridiculous. I step on the train and it is extremely busy, which I found surprising because I thought that there were all sorts of ridership issues with the UPX. So this, it's like there was standing room only. One thing I noticed, the primary purpose of the Union Pearson Express is to get people back and forth from the city to the airport. Generally, when people are going to an airport, they're going to be carrying luggage. The aisles are narrow enough that two people carrying luggage can't move past each other. It's a tight squeeze. Why would they think that's a good idea? The fare collector comes along and asking for fares, so I pull out my Presto, give it to her to tap. "Oh, you tapped the wrong thing." I go, "What do you mean?" I walked into the station and I tapped the sign that said Presto users pay here. I paid there. And she looks at me and kind of rolls her eyes. A look of exhaustion comes over her face. She said this 1,000 times. "I know, but it's the wrong one." Then I say, "Well, what one was I supposed to use?" That's the one that was there. And she's, "Well, there's another one there, I guess," was sort of the answer. So then she told me that when I get off the train, there's a desk, there's someone there that will be able to help me, but I'll need a smartphone to log in and do stuff. So, okay, so people who don't have a smartphone aren't gonna, anyway. So anyway, she told me that when I get off the train, not to tap off, but to go to a desk and talk to someone who'll be there to help me. And if I don't take care of this, my Presto will be locked out. I'll be unable to use it again until this is taken care of. So I finally get off the train and I find a desk. Of course, there's no one at the table. I wait around a few minutes, but I'm on a schedule, so keep on going. On the way home, I decided, you know what, UPX had its chance, not using this again. I went with TTC, and I tapped on, and the card worked perfectly well. So the one and only good thing about my experience, the relatively friendly customer service I got from the ticket check, was instantly negated because they lied to me. My overall review of the Union Pearson Express, I don't even want to give it 0 out of 5 stars. I would like to give it a black hole so that if other people have given it 1 or 2 star ratings, it will consume those stars and give it an even less score. It is horrible. Avoid it. Public transit should be built with the assumption that someone who's never been there before, who doesn't speak the language, can figure it out their first time without help.